Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Anime Lady Podcast, your ultimate hub for all things anime and beyond. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're returning listening, or you're welcome to a new channel, we're thrilled to have you on board on another exciting dive into the world of animation and pop culture. In this episode 156 of the Anime Lady Podcast, brace yourself for a character debate, side conversation, a dazzling chaos, and a hatred from Jokester, all cover cram in a 2-hour adventure. Wow, 3 episodes back to back and a full coverage review. This episode is a focus on the Marvel news and its future. Furthermore, as you see from the title, as you see from the thumbnail, we're tackling Agatha all along coverage. So if you have not seen the show, we will give our non-spoiler thoughts for a couple of minutes and then jump full dive in spoiler. So without further ado, time codes will be in the description down below. As always, engage with us, share this episode, bring your friends, and let's make this morning, evening unforgettable. All powered by AniMa W3 Studio. Moving forward, this is a pre-recorded and catch every new episode on a Thursday evening on the YouTube and the audio feed. Without further ado, let's get to the show. It's your host, Love and Peace, Legendary Vash, and as you know from the song, down, down, down to the Witch's Road.
That is not how it goes. You would have been sent to hell.
Oh, I would have said I would have gone to hell, but the song has been on my mind, and that one line, I don't know why, but like I'm just waiting to hear some type of metal version of that song, so I could just hear it like down, down the Witch's Road. I don't know, and I know I'm wrong, and I would have been burned alive 100%. But here are my other 2 co-hosts for the night. Whoever wants to go first.
All right,
After you.
Thank you. So, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jokester. And I will gladly be the ping pong ball between Rio and Jen. Gladly.
What's up, guys? It's Crash, aka the Hispanic Assassin, with a crazy take once more on Agatha. Stay tuned.
Yes, as you heard, that this will be a fully focused show when it comes to the Marvel news, the Taco News. We have 2 segments for the night. We have our Taco News, and then we have our Agatha Along coverage. Because after this, right before the show ends, we're going to get our Arcane hypeness out. A little quick little teaser of what the next episode will be coverage about. It will be a full season 1 of Arcane, because right now, this coming week will be Arcane season 2, 3 batch episodes like the next couple weeks that will be dropping from Netflix. So we will also be covering season 1 just to have the little reminder in case anybody probably didn't get the chance to watch it. You could just check out coverage for it. So without further ado, the Weeps Lounge is not happening for this week. You can catch what we want to talk about next week or 2 weeks from now or next month. We will see a lot of things to be discussing about until the holiday season. So let's get straight to the Otaku Big News and Buzz Central, the pulse of all our Anime Lately podcast. Get ready to dive into the latest buzz, the hottest news, and our spirited opinions on everything of entertainment. So for this week, we're kind of, just keeping in Marvel flow. Not a lot of things have dropped from DC and other companies, so we want to give it the Marvel news. So we have Ironheart releasing on June 24th. We have Daredevil Born Again released March 4th. We have the Wonder Man releasing December 2025. And then we have the What If Season 3 airing this year, December 22nd, 2024. And your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man releasing on January 29th on Disney Plus. All of these are releasing on Disney Plus next year. So what are you guys most excited about? How do you guys feel about this? And is anybody excited for Wonder Man?
Oh, damn. I yelled so hard my fucking mic didn't go through. But
Oh, wow.
Spider-Man! Nigga. Ooh, bro. I'm so excited. I've seen a lot of when that clip of Peter fighting whoever that kid was and he hit him with a brick. That kid's dead, by the way. But I like the animation. I think it looks great. And honestly, I just am always here for more Spider-Man content.
I'm excited for it. I'm very happy for January 29th. I know this show also got pushed because I think it was originally supposed to come out this year, I believe. But I believe it got pushed for animation purposes and narrative, which I'm okay with. And I agree with you. This reminds me of, if anybody don't remember, there was another Spider-Man cartoon that was made by MTV, I believe, back then. Like I think in the early 2005s, there was a weird animation MTV type of CGI. It reminded me a lot of the video games. Probably not many people did hear or remember watching it, but this is like a comic book version of being
The funny thing
adapted.
about that one- Oh, sorry.
No. I was just gonna say like this is like a comic book adapted version of the Spider-Man comics, just more being moved fluidly, and I really like it.
hmm No, I was gonna say the funny thing about the one you mentioned, the MTV show one. That Spider-Man was voiced by Neil Patrick fucking Harris.
Yes, I remember.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, bro, I was because I was recently watching a video essay about like the different Spider-Man cartoons, and they brought up the MTV one, and I was like, I've never heard of this one before, and I listened to it, him talk about it, and as soon as he played a clip, I said, "Is that Neil Patrick fucking Harris?" And then he proceeded to answer my question.
Yeah, the voice actor is Neil Patrick Harris for Spider-Man. It came out 2003, and it was called
damn.
Spider-Man: The New Animated Series. Please go search up, and if anybody is unaware about it, please go search it up. It's an interesting. I think it's like only 10 episodes, I believe.
It may be, CG animated, and it is very early CG animation, yes, but it actually looks a lot better than people think. Off rip.
It was 13 episodes. Only in 2003, it was 13 episodes.
20 years ago, I mean, I know the CGI is not going to be the best, but you know what? It is Spider-Man, so I'm definitely going to give it a look regardless.
Yeah, I do recommend it for this Spider-Man. Like the 6 second, I agree with what you said. This boy definitely got knocked out. He has a
Nah, ain't no knockout. He did. He did.
and yo, I love how the reaction was like, "Oh my god, he got hit by a brick!" Like Yasha call the ambulance. Like Yasha make sure this dude literally just got hit by the web, returned back by the brick. Bro, what you mean?
CTE.
Look, the one I'm honestly excited for is Daredevil Born Again. That's the one I'm excited for because look, anybody could say what they want to say about She-Hulk having Daredevil, and anybody behind the scenes, me, Crash, and Jokester spoke about the kind of woman that She-Hulk is in the comics. So we know what the
belong in the streets.
we know what Daredevil is capable of. Because he's not the only person that knows what he's capable of in the comics and everything. Because even Kingpin said it during this lunch table or little diner. Said, how does the other person feel about me being where I am? And that conversation was good tension of awkwardness between the hero and the villain knowing that you have an alter side, an alter ego, like you have the other side being played. And by the way, Punisher, I can't wait to hear 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime. I was like, yes, just give it to me.
Look, not for nothing, I will at least say, I have missed the old school Marvel violence. I have been waiting a very long time for it to come back, and to hear that they are gonna bring it back, I just can't wait to see what kind of gruesome like scenes we're gonna see, what story's gonna do, like what direction to go to. Now that we've seen like everything past season 3,
Have you seen the original trailer for Daredevil?
The original of the 2003 one with Ben Affleck?
No. I'm talking about the one for the new Daredevil that's gonna come out. But it was the trailer that they played during that weekend where they were showing a bunch of like Disney stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
They definitely bringing back the violence.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh, the train scene. I don't know what it is with shows and train scenes, but like, keep them coming, please.
I can't wait for it.
The Punisher knows how to be violent, knows how to be brutal, and just him being back there, John Barton, he was meant to play the Punisher, the Kingpin. William D'Onofrio, I think that's how I pronounce his name. He's fucking amazing for what he does, and he knows how to play the Kingpin so well. Like, I remember the Spider-Man cartoons. Whenever I saw Kingpin, the big ass dude smacking Spider-Man down, when you see Kingpin, like, who this dude is? This white boy, big chin, big motherfucker smacking the friendly neighborhood hero. But the thing is, this man Kingpin was ready for the hands anytime, and even in the Spider-Man game, the first one, where Kingpin was ready to give the hands down that whole building just for Spider-Man.
Bruh, Kingpin has always been a fucking unit. And I mean an absolute unit, bro. And that's one of the things that I do like about him. Because it's like not even where Kingpin is like just a big dude who has a lot of money and can't throw hands. It's pretty much been confirmed that all that fat on Kingpin is muscle.
Oh God.
But the one thing I want to ask you guys is: anybody excited? I'm gonna be straightforward right now. Anybody excited for Wonder Man?
I didn't know
Who
who
the
he
fuck
was
is
until
that?
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, who the fuck is that? I'm sorry, and I'm a veteran Marvel fan. Like read comics and everything with my old man as a child. Never heard that man a day in my life. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm proud for the workers. I'm proud for the actor. Congrats for you getting the job that you got. It's a good opportunity for you and everything. But I don't know what this character is. Wonder Man. I've heard of other versions of it. I know we had a possibility of WandaVision. That show they had a possibility to show some kind of character of Wonder Man. I'm not sure if it's the same, but I was just a bit thrown off by this trailer, like showing the actual behind the scenes of the casting and everything. It just showed very different. But then the guy from Iron Man 3, who also was a fake Mandarin, which a lot of people didn't like that either. Like a lot of people didn't like that, and they're trying to turn you around. It's like, it's not hitting me. Like that's one property I'm not excited for. Like out of the things we released and out of the trailer showing what's coming out next year and next couple months, which we have the Deadpool Wolverine, aka the shirt I'm wearing. So you know all of this. Well, it's not a shirt I got from work. A shirt I got from Target. So anybody acts like, oh, look at that shirt from work. Like, no, this is just a regular shirt from Target. Ironheart. I'm very excited for Ironheart as well.
I feel I'm personally gonna put a hot take out there, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be wrong, but just based off the trailer alone for what I've seen, I feel like it's gonna be a very generic plot that is everyone can see coming. I already know. I already see the villain's gonna be very your Robin Hood type of guy, like steal from the rich, gives to the poor type. I can already see this character like seeing the good and bad of the situation. Like, oh, I'm gonna be with this potential villain because he's looks like he's doing good. He's actually doing bad, and realizing that she's doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons. Redeem herself, redemption arc, save the world from this villain, yada yada. I'm here for her, the character, and her pseudo armor. But if the plot is not, I don't think it's gonna be a movie worth watching.
I've met Anthony Ramos. He's a really cool dude. I have seen his music live and I've known him for 2 days. I'll say he's been going up in the world as the Transformers properties, going to Ironheart. I think he filmed this back in like 2022, I believe, or 2021. To see this finally come out, I'm excited for it. Not saying like you, like I'm more skeptical, but more in the excitement as where are we going to lead into this type of content with Anthony Ramos and Ironheart, and how is it going to connect to the original Iron Man as well? Because the character of Ironheart, she's very, very connected to Iron Man, to Robert Downey Jr., but then they have changed things up in the MCU with her already in Wakanda, using the Arabian, using the skills, but then she had built a relationship with them because of Black Panther 2. So I'm really curious to see how is all this gonna connect and how much it's gonna differ from the comics.
Person who cares about, well, no. Okay, I do care about some continuity to, like, from comic to movie, if you're basing a movie strictly off a comic, right? Like how people were pissed with Flash because they did Flashpoint Paradox, which is what every, like, whenever somebody thinks of the Flash, they always point to Flashpoint Paradox. It's like their let's make money button for fucking anything to use the Flash in.
Yeah.
But then you fuck it up like they did in the live action Flash movie.
And the live action show, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and like, I can get that, but then there's so many fucking original stories that you could tell with these characters. Or just like, mixing some stuff around because of continuity errors, kind of like, RDJ being dead. I'm excited for it just to see what we could like in certain comic continuities and cartoon continuities. There's already a kind of a relationship between Riri and the Wakandans.
Yeah,
So I'm just excited mainly just to see how that plays out.
exactly. Like I'm curious to see how is she gonna develop her skills and her technology, knowing that now she has the connections with vibranium and with Shuri and them and all the Wakandanians. So I'm really curious to see what it could develop with the Wakandans and with Aguri and how's Anthony Ramos gonna be involved in all this.
Just realized I said Wakandanian when Wakandan was right there.
I just went along with it. I'm like, I'm not gonna point it out because I also said it once too. So I'm like, if nobody's gonna point out my mistake, I'm not gonna point out others.
Look, not for nothing. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the worst thing we're gonna see. I'm just very. I hope that this story with this original character that we have not seen yet in the MCU brings something original to the table that a lot of fans are dying to see. Because I know there are a lot of people complaining about, I guess, originality. Where do you go from, like, once you the argument always goes back to you did Avengers Endgame, you had a big villain like Thanos. Where do you go from here, right? And we've been getting a lot of spin-off shows, a lot of different perspectives with different
They
characters in
keep
the
name
MCU.
dropping him. Just fucking show him Mephisto. Yeah, keep gonna name drop him. Just bring him up
Please.
already.
I know they're
Yeah.
gonna bring him out 2025, maybe potentially 2026. I know they have the actor. I'm very very surprised they chose him out of everybody to play Mephisto. So I'm very curious to see how that he's gonna play out. I'm gonna butcher his name, but Sandra, Baron, what's his name? He's gonna play Mephisto apparently.
Oh,
I just don't know. He's in Borat in the movie Borat. So
I believe his
I'm
name is Sandra Barrett Corbin. I believe it is.
Thank you, thank you. I knew I was gonna butcher his name, but yes, him. I don't know why they chose him to play Mephisto. It's a very unique actor,
Look,
to say the least, to play that.
I feel like if you're not gonna really see much of his face because he's gonna be a lot in prosthetic and on CGI. Like same thing that Josh Brolin was Thanos, but that he also is Cable. So you couldn't really tell the difference. So the guy that's gonna play Mephisto, like he's literally gonna be in all red, big chin, the hair and everything. So I feel like he has the posture, and a lot of CGI or face paint is gonna be happening a lot as well.
It's when you see him in other stupid comedic, movies, you kind of like lose the seriousness in that actor. So when I see him, I don't take him seriously at all. And with a very, very iconic villain like Mephisto, I want 110% on this, and I know Marvel will deliver. It's now a matter of, will the actor deliver, this or not.
Well, right before, since we already mentioned one thing of Agatha, the one thing I want to ask before we move on, anybody excited for What If Season 3? And we also got told about one thing, that a certain character will be shown in What If Season 3, and that is the goddess of Storm. Storm from the X-Men will be shown on What If Season 3. It hasn't been shown in every episode or storyline, but that'd be the first X-Men being involved in the MCU that's outside of the X-Men 97.
So I already got yelled at for it, but I haven't watched the first two What If seasons.
God damn it! And he's gonna get yelled at again. Why?
Whoa, Chad, maybe most likely in December we might be reviewing the One of Season 3, so most likely Paul will be getting some homework, because it's either that or he has to go back to doing X-Men 97 or X-Men the animated series. One of the others is going to be happening.
God.
Paul's right now like, God damn, why did I sign up for this?
You only have yourself to blame. You only have
Look,
yourself to blame.
you're gonna be seeing greatness. What If Season 1 is good? I've not seen Season 2, so I don't know too much on that, but the What If Season 1 was interesting. You saw good perspective of Captain Britain, Doctor Strange, all those storylines of Ultron. How could it actually be a broken character within the MCU and the Marvel comics, and actually not really be constrained to the aspect of Marvel MCU live action, but not be more freedom with the animated side be more adapted from the comics. So I feel like that's what if kind of succeeded in.
Just people don't understand. I would watch videos on comics all the time. I sometimes read a lot of comics, but my caring when it comes to Marvel, it high key just goes Spider-Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man again. Insert some hot
Well, we
character.
gotta grow that palette then, because there's other like X-Men Evolution. There's definitely good animated projects that to actually enjoy for the content of these characters. Because I understand, I am in the same boat as you. Not every comics or characters always bring me in. There's some of the DC that I prefer. There's some from the Marvel. The Fantastic Four is one of the first families to me. Has one of the best comic book stories, even when Reed Richards was outside of the fucking galaxy itself. Just knowing that concept, knowing that if you've read that comic book run where Reed Richards has to refix the atoms of the galaxy with his son in one of the comic book issues, like that's just insane.
I don't. The Fantastic Four.
Can you repeat that you said that you don't like the Fantastic or you hate the Fantastic Four?
Okay, I don't like the Fantastic Four. I hate Reed Richards.
Okay, so I just want to confirm.
Wait.
I just want to confirm. No, hold on. It's fine to hate the smartest man alive because he's also a selfish prick. So very understandable to understand to hate Reed Richards because Doctor Doom also hates him too. And Doctor Doom is not always right either, but he's also sometimes wrong. So to hate Reed Richards, I will not take that as a stretch.
The only members I don't hate on the Fantastic Four is the Thing and then Sue.
Okay, I was gonna say if you hate Sue Storm, we're fighting right now. Okay,
I'm about to say
okay.
Sue Storm is like the least problematic person.
Yeah, I have literally no reason to hate Sue Storm because I don't know shit about Sue Storm.
Jessica Alba, that's all you need to know. Blonde girl, big tits, invisible. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all you will ever need to know.
Well,
There's
the live
nothing
action,
else.
yes, but there's a lot more to that. But the Human Torch, I get it. The Human Torch has always have had his issues in the comics. I do like the one line for the live action. Flame on. Psh, and stuff flying.
I personally feel right now like he doesn't like it. The Human Torch because he's specifically Captain America live action. If it wasn't for that, maybe there would be some ground points.
I actually have a reason why I don't like Human Torch, and it was specifically because he fucked around with Doom's girl before their wedding.
I mean, does a comic book run, right? Does a comic run? Yeah, I figure. It sounds familiar.
I read that comic. I looked at it. I was like, "Yo, this nigga is a dick," and I just never liked him after.
It's Johnny. Sue always excuse him. Sue always excuse him. Like, come on, Johnny. I'm like, no, come on. Like, literally come at him. He literally fuck up. You're gonna be like, oh, that's all sweet Johnny. I'm like, no, that's not good about Johnny. No.
Not to mention every time him and fucking Thing gets into an argument, and it's like, bro, you're doing this on purpose. You're doing these low blows to the Thing on purpose. You mean this shit, and I fucking hate you for it. I don't like Johnny Storm.
Understandable, but any other thoughts about our taco news of Marvel, Ironheart, Daredevil, Wonder Man, What If, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Well, I can't wait for Daredevil. I really can't wait. I hope March 4th comes. And for What If Season 3, the list hasn't come out yet, right? For any specific
No, they haven't. No, they haven't announced that yet. They just said about the Storm, I believe.
And zombies.
Yeah. The What If's the zombies I think is coming in next year, but I don't know too much about what I've done that has been added.
I can't wait for because I actually do love the Marvel Zombies comics.
Oh yeah, that is great as well.
I do want to also give a shout out to Eyes of Wakanda. That was also something part of the trailer that wasn't spoken of. But I don't know anything enough about it. Just that Luke Cage will be in it, and I actually skipped the live action Luke Cage. I'm sorry, the Iron Fist. Excuse me, Iron Fist on that because I didn't think the live action Iron Fist was any good. But I'm gonna keep an eye out for that as well too.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's up to you if you want to enjoy season 1. You could. It's not great. It's not perfect. It's not bad either. It's like a solid 6 to 7.5, depending on the perspective. That's my honest from the top of my head. It's like a 6 to 7.5 as an overall season one. Some episodes are better. The fight choreography is great, but I feel like they could have done a lot more. They didn't know what they had. But I do agree, the Eyes of Wakanda was something that was announced, but they didn't give too much information, so it was hard to really, speak about it. So that's when they get to add it, but still, great mentions, great honorable mention to add. But with that being said, the honorable mention, folks, to talk about, we need to discuss is the Agatha review. So we're here to give our non-spoiler, our first quick thoughts, our first insights. Look, as somebody myself in the past 5 years, we got WandaVision back in, I think, 2020 or 2021. And when it was announced later that we'll be getting an Agatha all along TV spinoff from the show, they named the change like a good 6-8 times, 4 times with the name change of the series. Coming in, I was not excited for it. I'll be honest. I was curious. I was like, where are we gonna go in this series? What's gonna be the story that's gonna be leading up to this? By coming 9 episodes later, we have 6 weeks later of Agatha, and honestly, I was truly entertained. I was pleased as a viewer, pleased as a fan, having time to grasp the information that we saw of about our characters that's on screen right here. I don't want to name drop in case you haven't finished the show and you want to come in here our non-spoiler thoughts real quick. You can. But our boy the Teen, he was originally called Teen. I'm gonna name him Teen. We had Jen, who was great. Each character had the progression, the growth. Each character had the reason for it. We see the powers of difference between mother and son. We see the adaptation. We see the lore of death, of the Beyonder. Fucking being non-spoilers kind of hard. I'm trying to see what else I can add.
Not much, because everything is a reference to something.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I could say. That's all I could say. Yeah. Like, I was honestly pleasantly enjoy from coming into the show, not coming with excitement to see where we'll go up to, then seeing how this is a continuation of the story of Wanda Maximoff and where it lead up to in the future in the MCU. And if this wasn't an MCU project, would I have still watched this? If it was recommended to me from friends, sure. If I didn't know about it and it was just on a streaming service, probably not. But with MCU name attached to it and Agatha, and from start to finish, I actually really enjoyed this, and this is like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Would I rewatch this with wifey? Yes, we're planning to. And would I actually really enjoyed it? Hell yeah. So that's my honestly non-spoiler first impression thoughts of the show from starting to finish, and I was actually entertained.
I think if you're a little generous with the grading, me personally, but I respect it nonetheless. I gotta give you props for that.
Well, we've already learned to not take grading tips from you, sir.
Thank you very much. If you have heard the Off the Bench podcast for anybody, you should know, don't trust Crash rating system.
Hey, I'm trying.
But nah, for me, I enjoyed the show. I ain't gonna lie. When Agatha first got announced, right after WandaVision, I straight up said, "Who the fuck is Agatha?" Because I don't know shit about Marvel that much. Especially when it comes to the magic side. Like, if it's not directly like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, even though I can't stand Scarlet Witch. Damn, are there any other magic users who I know in Marvel?
What did Scarlet Witch do to you this time?
Sims kids, nigga. That whole show was about Sims kids, nigga. I fucking that damn, and we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. But yeah, no. So I thoroughly enjoyed every episode of the show. All the characters kept me genuinely entertained, and how like some shit linked to like earlier shit, because everything fucking linked in the show. It was done so smartly. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say this: the editing of this reminded me of season 1 of The Witcher, of storytelling editing, when it comes to telling all the present pieces, but then by the end of the last 2 episodes, they tell us the flashback and it connects all the way to the present. That's what this editing also reminded me of how they told their
We
9 episodes.
might want to say bringing that up. If I was to give it a score, I 7.5. 7.5.
I like. Crash. So what's your non-spoiler first impression thoughts? How did you feel going into series, then coming out and be like, you know what, it wasn't that bad?
Look, I don't want to sound like the repeating record, but I was in the same boat more or less as you guys when the trailer released. And my first thought, was you already had a spin-off from the main series to do now another spin-off of a continuation of a spin-off, which to me made no sense. I personally, when I first saw it, did not care about the story of Agatha, nor did I want to care about the story of witches, because to me personally, what does any kind of witch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now can put to the table, going on to the future of, any potential Marvel movies or bigger shows. Because the whole point that I was trying to say realistically is there's a lot of shows coming out, and I feel like Marvel's losing a little bit of traction with the with what they were putting out since the release of Endgame. So I'm watching this trailer thinking, it's gonna be stupid. It's just gonna be like a continuation of what happens with WandaVision, but it might close up some loose ends, but nothing crazy. And then when I really looked deeper into the trailer, I was looking into the scary aspect of it. And the first trailer or two was okay. It wasn't until they fixed the third the third title of it, which became Agatha All Along, where I saw the official trailer, where I actually saw Marvel trying their best to make it spooky, to make it scary, to make me get goosebumps, make me get off my seat, to jump scare me. And that is something that I've been waiting for in a Marvel uh, show, movie for a very long time. Because I don't think there's any Marvel movie right now, there any show that has legitimately made me cut up and be like, oh yeah, I'm scared. I'm actually like, oh, I'm a little excited to watch this. That was the trailer. Going into the show, unfortunately, the first half I actually genuinely enjoyed. It was a nice paced story to point A to point B of Agatha and her coven and what they're trying to accomplish their goal. Uh, and it wasn't until midway through that I actually started to fall off. I started to see disparities, things that I just didn't like personally, and I was starting to get a little bored. And the ending, I was okay with. I didn't like it, but I will be generous to say that it was okay. I rated it a 7 out of 10. I personally thought it was mid at best. It was higher, but midway through, it kind of lost off.
Brother, I'm gonna need you to realize what mid means. I swear to God.
Thank you, right? I'm like, bro, mid is like a 6 or 5. And what's your score?
7 out of 10. It was 6. I was nice and gave it a
That's
7.
mid.
It was
So look, so if you give it a 6, I'll be like, alright, that's cool. That's a mid. 7, I'm like, that's actually good. Like, that's passable. Like that's getting a 70 out of 100 on your test. That's good. You pass. You pass the requirements to get the Regents exam, to get your diploma.
Look, let me cook. Let me get more deeper into this. I promise you'll see my way with this one.
All right. So, Chad, if you're here for the non-spoiler, that has ended. Our first impression thoughts have moved on. We're here for the conversation to discuss about the plot, the evolution of Agatha, our characters, of the witches, the death, the light magic, the dark magic, all these things going on, the blue, all these things are connected to one another. So we're gonna find full spoilers. So here is your number 3, the 2, and the 1. Get the fuck out of here politely, and thank you very much. So without further ado, the first thing I want to ask, how do you guys feel that it wasn't Agatha all along? We had our character that wasn't named Teen no more. We finally found out that he was confirmation to be Billy Maximoff. That we
Before we even talk about that, Agatha's ass. After that, that's what I wanted to talk about. When I said we get back to that, I was so irritated with how how essentially things revolved around Wanda between WandaVision and then Doctor Strange, with her doing all that she did for fucking Sims kids. And then now we're finding out that her fucking tantrum that she had, that caused that big ass red bubble, basically brought back her Sims kids, taking out a whole nother kid. He was just chilling after his bar mitzvah. Next thing you know, some redheaded bitch decided, I'm mad. Boom.
So look, hold up. Let me add context for anybody, or because for chat, this is the first time we're actually having a full conversation speaking about it. So we're about to hear debates, disagreements, or whatever it may be for the next bits. So one, even Billy didn't know how that happened. Agatha said it herself that once that her mom and Agatha were having a little scuffle, the spirits that Wanda poof out of her because of chaos magic, she made Billy and what fuck her other his brother Tommy. She made Billy and Tommy actually have real spirits, real body, real minds. But they was only at the age of 10 when she closed the blip of her power back home with vision and everything shutting on of her and everything. And the kids, their spirits there was still out in the cosmos of the area around it. So once the original kid that was having his bar mitzvah, he died. Like he dead. But Billy was just roaming around like Casper. Like, oh, whose body can I find that's literally already dead in perfect opportunity? That's when he screamed, Tommy, because the last thing that he was aware that he was running around with Tommy trying to find a body that they could find. But thing is, Wanda was unaware. So Wanda, if she probably waited another hour or 6 hours around the area, she probably could have found Billy in this past 3 years. But instead, Wanda flew off to the sunset, and that's when she went to the mountains in Europe and started to become a crazy witch. Because she, in her mind, was lost in the cosmos because of Darkhold. She was lost in the Darkhold of how her magic, the chaos, and she couldn't find her kids because she thought her kids were gone. She heard the spirits of Tommy and Billy, but she only found Billy, but was unaware because she was probably across a whole different, water, Europe or wherever. So she didn't know that Billy already found a host of a body, and we also had Lilith, who she already saw that happened, and like she was reading the card. She's like, oh, you're about to see the reverse tower, you're about to see your life changing. So she already knew that, hey, you are gonna see all this happening. And then that's why she put that's why we find out later that she's the one that put the sigil on him already.
All right, so then let me be the bad guy in this perspective, right? Let me make it more easier for you guys to understand my perspective, right? Why should I care that Billy Maximoff is now in the picture, right? So, again, this is spoilers. In the movie of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, we kind of understand that, Wanda sacrificed herself. And we see at the very end of that scene where, a big, area of red comes around and then goes away. So we don't see Wanda die per se. We're gonna assume that she dies.
And but, most comic books, as long as we don't see the body, we don't know they're dead.
You're dead. Exactly. So for all intents and purposes, let's assume in the scenario that she is not in this, case. Because, Agatha also does claim she is not here. She doesn't say that she's dead or anything. So that's a big takeaway from this. She's just not here. So she could be anywhere else in the universe. Just Agatha doesn't know. My thing is, so if the mom is not here, why the fuck should I care that fucking Billy's here, right? Why should I care that the son of the Scarlet Witch is doing something, besides the fact that he's trying to find Tommy, his brother, right? Going to the end of, this whole show. Why should I care that he's going to do something in the MCU? I don't understand what he can contribute now in this specific point in time in the MCU.
Well, for me, what I would say that Agatha, she was trapped and still in one the spell. So no matter what, she was gonna stay trapped until eternity, or until somebody came in and interrupted the spell. But when it came to Billy, he found out that he wasn't the same person. He knew that he has his old memories of him and Tommy, but he don't remember the person's body he was inhabiting. So 3 years later passed. He's still trying to figure out about Agatha and all these things going on. Who is he? And we find out in the flashback that the original Ralph Boner is still alive, and he looks like a homeless man.
So
Shout out to Quicksilver.
I ain't gonna lie, I did not know that was him. My main thing was why was he ginger? But no. So Crash, and I say this with all the love for you, right? That take pisses me off purely because not everything has to go not everything has to matter to the big picture in order to be enjoyed, right? Now I get you thinking, why would you care? But there's a lot of people who maybe they do like Agatha. I didn't know who the fuck she was. I still don't care. I kind of hate that this story is now about Billy Maximoff because fuck the Maximoffs. Fuck them.
I would do that 100%, right? So, okay. I got
And
a
look, and
ghost.
plus,
Yeah.
even Billy, he didn't even care. I'm gonna find my mom. Is she still alive? He doesn't know. He said, I'm gonna find my brother. That's why I care. Like throughout the literally from start to finish, the only thing he said, he lied to Agatha. Like, oh, I'm gonna go there to, I'm gonna go to the witch's road for power. Like, nah, bro, I'm gonna come for my brother. That's what I came for. The most funniest thing that I want to say in quote, Agatha in the flashback by episode 8 or 9, to find out that she was literally seconds away to literally scream at the other witches, be like, look at you, you guys failed. We could have conquered the witch's road. But for her to actually look down and be like, bitch, the road is real? After 600 years of me lying to all these people, a fucking gateway, a door, a barn door she wants to open, and just her reaction once she hears in the background from Billy, that's what she knew, like, you son of a bitch. Just like mother like son. Mother like son. Fuck. Like, just knowing that expression of hers, just to know that. And now it makes sense whenever I rewatch the show with my wife, just to know whenever she said the oldest is not real. Like, she didn't take it seriously. And it makes sense now that of why she didn't take it seriously. But to understand now, my question is that after this show, of course, he closed the gate. But now, can the gate be opened by other witches now, since the concept of the gate has been opened by Billy? So can other witches, like, can another 5 witches in the future now open this fake gate that has been opened before now? Is my thought.
I think so, considering they already have like basically the whole entire show, they were following a song of people who already been through it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change just because it's open now.
But now it's real, because before it was all a fake song made by her son, who was just saying the windy road. But now girl made it into a song to catch other witches, so girl could just steal their magic for the past 600 years. But now
Wait,
that,
I'm sorry, did I miss something? When the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
When did he become? Huh?
Yeah, so in the flashback, in episode 8 or 9, well, no, I think in episode 9, in the flashback, the song was originally made by her son, Nicholas Scratch. It was just a song that he was just saying because he was bored walking down the road with his mom, saying windy, windy down the windy road. Like, he was just saying the random song, and then her mom was just adding words to it, down, down, and then they was using that song to capture other witches as a group. So that's why he ran, grabbed the bread, or got the other witches annoyed, and then they started to chase him. And then every time the witches would attack Agatha, but then girl would do that reverse the Uno card, come back to me, I take my magic, and then I just kill all your witches. That was the song that was used by her son. So she technically just twisted a song that her son made into her own benefit, and then after her son died, for the next 600 years, that's what she used to take other witches' powers.
I have to watch the last episode again. I ain't gonna lie, I was fighting consciousness when I last watched it. So
No, but that's what we're here for the clarification or for the questions, for the thoughts. Maybe other people watching this would like, damn, I probably missed that too.
You know, your theory wouldn't be that far off because you want to remember that Jen, she did escape. So there are other witches out there in the MCU. So it's not to say that she doesn't like she could potentially tell others like, yeah, I've been down the witch's road, and
Yo,
I know where it is.
so talking about the Witch's Road. So I saw a comment, I saw a TikTok about Agatha, and it was a comment saying that Agatha's the type of person that will find the slave trade road and catch other witches trying to run away and try to get their powers too during that walk. And I'm like, fuck. Knowing Agatha, she might be right. Like, she's the type of person that will actually portray that.
I mean, it didn't have to be said, but it was said, and now I can't unsee that out of my
And
mind.
then
Really.
when you think about Jen, when she said that I got bound, I believe she also said it in the 1920s. I'm like,
Yeah.
it all fits together when it comes, because she said it that she had to choose for those that probably didn't read in between the line. Agatha had to choose either to kill Jen or to bound her. Sorry, to bound her within that area, because the people that wanted Jen gone got Agatha to do the dirty work for them. But instead of Agatha choosing to kill Jen, she chose to bound her instead and to keep her alive. But she never told Jen, and I love how at the end Agatha was telling Billy, no, let her struggle. Girl needs to do her thing on her own, and I love that for her. Like, Agatha just rather see, like, nope, I want to see you win, but I'd rather see you win my way.
You know what? It's funny you bring that up too. And again, I don't mind being the bad guy in this episode, right? Let's speak about that specific scene, right? So, because it confused the hell out of me, and it really made no sense. That's where I started like disliking the ending more and more, right? So Jen leaves, right? She gets she does the unbounding curse, and she leaves. So then now Agatha's trying to help Billy, trying to escape too. So I don't know in that specific scene who is the little boy in the water. I don't know if that was actually like Tommy or like a boy that he's trying to like kind of like kill, so that way Tommy can go in that body, right? And then that scene happens. Then Agatha is able to escape. She sees death and everything, and then Billy comes out with this fucking costume, as the son of the Scarlet Witch. I'm like, how the fuck you go teleporting from this scene that I don't understand to now being OP, having a whole costume and everything, and then Dead literally slaps this guy fucking across the field. He breaks into a whole ass garden area, and I'm just like, you just look badass, and now you look like you're straight like a sissy, bro. Like, what the fuck?
When it comes to that concept, one, when they did the final trial, you could tell that they were under Agatha's house in the basement, because technically, if you think about it, Billy made the concept. Remember when Agatha was already dead and then reborn as a ghost, and then Billy asks, did I do the hex? Was that all me? Agatha responded saying, you didn't do what your mother did. You made the concept of what was the witch's road real. So your hex was much better than your own mother's. Her mom's was more of an illusion of a hex. Everyone being in the 70s, the 80s, the sitcom, and all those, it was all an illusion, but you was just being on a automotive. But when it comes to the concept of Billy, yes, people die, aka Sharon, Alice, and Lilith. These three characters, by the way, I can't wait for us to break them down. These three characters had their own emotional growth, where Sharon, or aka Mrs. Hart, she just died because nobody had the chance to save her and actually give her the poison. That's
her dying was the best thing that could have happened to her throughout this entire goddamn series, bro.
Look,
girl got real here. We got death. Oh, and I can't want to talk about death, but we got real here. But then we had our girl Alice, who cured herself from the family's curse that was been hunting her. That's something that, because of Billy's magic that made the hex real, it made the trials real of what the story of the witches wrote, the concept actually real, where each person has to do a trial to actually get their magic. So Alice and Lilith got to make to the finish line, where Lilith, she got actually understand the flow of time, understand of what was happening back in the 1600s, was the flow of time, her to understand the reverse tower, that she is a traveler, all those things. Now to connect to Jen, her realizing that Agatha was the one that bound her, and that she did the unbound, she did her healing. She came from the ground is because she was under the basement of Agatha's house. So her coming out of the town, logically, I don't know why, but for her to come out and start flying, it means that she got her powers back. With Agatha telling Billy to find your brother, that this is his trial. That his trial was not to find power, because he had power all along. He made this fucking hex. But his vision of being here was to find Tommy. And Agatha even said it. Beautiful line, by the way. I love the line. She said, "Oh, sometimes little boys dies," which we find out what that line truly meant because of her own child of Nicholas Scratch. But when it came to the character of Agatha telling Billy, Tommy, the character, forgot Tommy Chaplin. I believe that's the actual boy's name, Tommy Chaplin. He is a character that is usually lives nearby, because this is what happens in the comics, that their spirits get bounced to new boys that are about to die, and it gets reborn. So this kid was getting a prank on by his friends. So you know how when your friends by the pool or by the beach, and you just throw your friend in the water, you get them drown a bit of water, drink a bit of water of the pool water, and then, oh my God, I'm sorry, that happened by accident. And this kid, Tommy Chaplin, did die, is in the moment of dying. And that's why when Billy asked, am I helping my brother to find his body by killing this boy? Or am I killing this boy for my brother to find his body? Because this is the first time Billy is understanding all this. Since if you think about it, Billy is a 3-year-old inside this body that's already was 13 years old. He was a 10-year-old, but fast paced. So all this is new to him, and all this of emotions and learning. So that's my understanding with Billy. He was helping his brother find his new body. So my guess that he already found his body, but Billy at the end with Agatha and her ghost has to now find them. That's the journey, in which I believe is going to be in the spin-off of the White Vision show that's going to be happening in the next 2 or 3 years. So that's my understanding of that scene. Paul, Jokester, how do you feel about this scene? Have any questions about this? Are you lost as well?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I came out of it mad confused.
So did my explanation help of understanding about Tommy being nearby in the area? Tommy Chaplin, he was actually getting a prank by the boys of his friends, but actually was dying during this process because this prank, it did not go well. So our boy Billy was helping his brother Tommy to find his body and be transported there and actually find his body.
Okay, I do remember. Okay, the thing is, I didn't remember seeing that because once again, I was fighting consciousness. I do remember that now, and yes, it does make a lot of sense. Which is, it's fucked up. It's mad fucked up when you think about it.
Oh, it is, for sure.
But hey, man, if a kid gotta die, I guess.
Look, I would understand that if Billy was killing the kid consciously, knowing that the boy was not getting a prank on and he was just ready in the water, and then you just push him down consciously, yes. But if Agatha said it and that line hurt me, like, just after Billy turned away, which I assume, Crash, that's why when he turned away, once he found his brother and everything, his trial was done. So I think he was nearby, because he was still in his car, which was the most funny shit. Like, how do you just get out, fight death, and then go back in your car and just drive off? Which is the most, it's the most normal human type of citizen shit. It's like such a New Yorker, like, yeah, I just shot some bullets, walk away. I'm gonna go back in my Toyota Camry. I just walk away.
That scene was so dramatic. Like you see him putting on his hood. It wasn't him like, "Yo, what the fuck are you wearing?" He's nonchalantly just walking to his vehicle, going in, driving away, and then he gets back to his house, and his parents like, "Oh my god, where the fuck are you, babe? We've been worried about you." Like, and I'm just there sitting like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Two things threw me off when he got home. When his parents call him Billy, what happened? And also, you've been gone for 24 hours. So it made me understand, like, wait a minute. So what happened from episode 2 to episode 9 happened in 24 hours? That's insane.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Dimension shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole fucking blue hex just got made. Which also, for anybody that's unaware, for Billy's powers in the comics, he usually wears a headband, but for this one, I guess mother like son, Wanda wears a red crown, and what Billy's wearing a blue crown. That's the only thing they got changed.
Lie. That scene made me jump when I heard Billie Eilish come up, bro. I was in. Damn it, it's even more Billie Eilish, but like
Billie Eilish.
Oh god.
Look, I know we mentioned it. Agatha asking for her to feel like she could complete the trial. She gave up the hair of her sons about the fertilization and using the teardrop of her, and then just waiting for the countdown to actually her to grow. Like, that was an emotional scene, and us finding out that line later, like, sometimes just little boys die. Like that, like that scene hit me once we found out later what it meant. And I want to ask you guys, what was your interpretation? Because I want to hear your guys first. When, one, we saw the flashback. Agatha had a pregnant body already. We don't know if it was the father. We don't know if it was death. And Agatha making a baby come be, or who it was. So I really want to hear you guys' perspective. I have my thoughts. But then finding out that Nicholas Cratch chose to walk away with death real, and still give a kiss goodbye to Agatha, and her having emotional breakdown, and us finding out that this was the gift that real meant. I gave you 6 years with your child to experience and nobody else has had that gift before. So how do you guys feel about the scene? How did you guys interpret this? What's up?
I feel bad if Agatha wasn't a terrible person.
I see it differently. I just didn't care enough about Agatha to really care about. So, I mean,
but I think that's fine. We don't have to care. Like, for example, Pain from Naruto. Do we really care? Pain, who literally destroyed, killed motherfuckers out here. Nagato, yes, Nagato, was a good human being. But you literally made the Akatsuki to literally made the world Pain. But people still fuck with him. People still fuck with the character Pain, but we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. Agatha, she literally gave birth and literally walked in a campsite with her baby and then murdered fucking other witches like it was no tomorrow. She literally gave birth, and then probably like 6 hours later or the next day, she's like, I love my baby. Oh, campfire witches. Hi, babies. Can I walk in with my baby? I haven't had the chance to feed anybody. Nope. Also, I'm gonna kill y'all. That's fine. That's literally in her blood. She literally used her own child to literally scapegoat all the witches to murder them too. I don't think we're supposed to even sympathize, Agatha. I think that's a good thing in writing, that we're not always supposed to sympathize with the villain.
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't be forced to go call her an anti-hero in that sense.
I don't know. How is she an anti-hero? She even chose to choose death. She said, look, I chose not.
I wouldn't even consider that, right?
Like, look, Billy, I didn't come here to save you. I chose to die. And also, I'm here as a ghost because I cannot choose to see my son yet. So I'm gonna stay here with you and just hang out with you. That's all. I'm not ready to see my son. She literally chose the truth. Like, hey, I'm not ready to see my son. I've had him waiting for 600 years. I'm gonna keep him, I'm gonna keep him waiting.
I'm assuming we're gonna go based off, what this says. She sold her son for the Book of the Damned. If that's not evil, I don't know what is evil.
It's hard to say because we know that she already killed her mother and her coven back in the 1400s, and she already got
Yes.
the Darkhold. So
Yes.
this, I believe, this was
In the 1750s. In the 1750s when she gave birth.
when she gave birth to 50. So this is already after the Darkhold. This is already after the coven and the witch's trial. So this is after all that. So her having the baby, it still doesn't answer that if it was with Rio, because we know she had a relationship with Rio, but we don't know if they had a unforsaken child that was not supposed to be born. So that's why Rio came to get it, or it was always back then, if anybody's unaware, when a lady, a mom, gave birth back then, it was a 50-50 chance the mom will survive. Childbirth back then was very risky compared to nowadays. So makes sense why Rio was also waiting to see that it's the son that would die, or probably Agatha. Agatha probably knew it wouldn't be her. That's my guess. And if anybody's unaware, the name of Nicholas Scratch got named is because he came from natural birth. No magic, no poof. So that's also why he got that name too, if anybody's unaware.
I don't know what to take of the childbirth, because I can see the theory one or two ways. Me personally, it could have been Rio saying, oh, like, you could die from this, but I'll spare you your life for your child's. Or it was something in between the time that she got the Darkhold until the childbirth, that Rio was thinking, you owe something to death. Life and death coexist. You give it and take. So for getting the Darkhold, something of death, something of evil, you must give something back and something of good, thereby being the child. Because the thing always goes with, you're born without sin, a baby's innocent. That's definitely could be potentially worth of value in that sense to the Darkhold when it comes to death with Rio. But we really, at the end of the day, we really don't know. That's just a theory I had, two theories. But realistically, I guess, like, until the new series comes out with this show, we really won't know what that really truly meant.
But also in this show, I feel like we had two fake scenes. I forgot what is it. Two fake guidelines. For example, two lines in this show. I believe it was in the same episode. I believe it was episode 3 when Jen came up to Billy Teen when they were already in the lake house. Jen said, like, I know Agatha gave up her child for the Darkhold and make a deal with Mephisto. So that's one line. That's one line. Mephisto, like, oh, for the next fucking 2 weeks, everybody was saying it has to be Mephisto. It has to be Mephisto. I'm like, guys, we did this 3 years ago with WandaVision. We heard it was Mephisto. It never was Mephisto. So this one also probably might be a little clickbait. It probably was. I feel like it was the same thing in that later episode when Agatha had her scare moment, that she saw the baby cradle, but then she saw the Darkhold there. I believe that also was a clickbait. The reason I say this is because this same producer on this show was the same producer on WandaVision. So I feel like they was trying to lie to us and like, oh, it could be Darkhold, it could be Mephisto. But then at the end of the show, just like it was Wanda Maximoff all along, it was her son, Billy Maximoff, all along. So I feel like that was more of them trying to play us.
Do we know how the son, Nicholas Scratch, actually died? Was he, like, sick or something, or is it just straight he just saw death and just walked up with her?
From what I know, from what I could read and interpret, it was late at night, and Death Rio literally just asked for Nicholas Scratch to come. It's your time, and he went into sleep probably. But also he was already getting sick, because I believe the night before he died, he was coughing a lot, so he was not getting well. So Agatha already knew that it was his time, but like she woke up and screamed like, I'm not ready, can I get more time? So like I felt like she was still unexpected waiting for that moment, but it happened. So my guess, it was probably cold sleep, frost bites, or who knows it was during that time of.
I wouldn't tell Rio no.
Look, let's get to it because I know we're
alluding. Let's the elephant in the room.
Aubrey Plaza was real. She came in as Death. She is Lady Death. We see her as a comic book actor 2 times in episode 9 at the final fight, and also when she communicates telepathically to Billy saying, "You may go now," and shows her actual true face to Billy. And my boy Billy was not scared one moment. So I'm gonna pass it to you first, Jokestar. How did you feel about the character of Death from episode 2 when she came guns blazing, asking for Agatha for her soul? But then Agatha, as usual, she'll be like, "Can we negotiate?" Rio came back as the original Green Witch. We find out the original Green Witch means to grow stuff, the rebirth of life, aka death, which ironically is like the circle of life. If you really think about it, how did you feel about this Jokestar, the character Aubrey Plaza playing this role?
I can see why Deadpool and Thanos be fighting over this woman.
Damn it! I was gonna say that. I'm tight. You beat me to the fucking point. Damn it!
Yes, sir.
Fuck.
She's so she was a great character. I loved her throughout the entire series of her just being fucking insane. Always laughing when they're basically having another near death experience. She did amazing. But I could not care about that because she was so goddamn hot.
I love Aubrey Plaza in this because she was playing to herself. She was literally, she's, anybody knows, she's omnipotent. If she's literally called Lady Death, she's literally a god level. Her brother, her sister is the Beyonder. Like, that's when you know, when you have a sibling called the Beyonder, you know you're fucking overpowered. So I love it when Lady Death, like Jokester mentioned, when all the other people was having the trial moments, Rio was just having a laugh when there was the trial of Alice. They were playing the rock stars. I believe they were at the 70s. When everything was going haywire, screaming, fire, Alice and them were singing, Rio was just laughing like just having a good time. And the most fucking craziest shit is the fucking Witchy board. The Witchy board. When the Witchy board was saying, "Who's here?" They literally wrote "Death," and I love how they look at Rio. Rio's just laughing like, like, "Yeah, guys, that's me. I'm here." But you're speaking in fucking third person, so that's the most crazy shit. And the most off board, me who works in production, I love how Aubrey Plaza goes to the fucking poster board of the background of the tree of the Wizards of Oz, and she just rips it. It just rips it and just goes through it. Anybody will know that she knows that this is all set, or she knows that this is all part of the hex. So all she could do is just rip a part of the hex and just goes whatever the fuck she wants. I love that scene. What was your favorite part of her? Like, how did you feel about Aubrey Plaza and her character and the comic book character of Lady Death, who, as Jokester said, fights over from Thanos and Deadpool?
See, I'm upset he beat me to the chase. But it is a good point. I was gonna ask that with you guys, right? So I'm curious to see if she actually returns, in future projects. Or maybe she
has said that she is confirmed for future MCU projects, but has not announced what.
I mean, Thanos is gone, so it's a shame that we won't be able to see him try to.
No, we have flashback Thanos, and we also what if show. So I feel like I hope we see some version of that or some flashback. And say like, I used to have some purple dude who used to be always clingy to me about to destroying half the earth, but I got tired of him. Like, hopefully we hear one line of that.
Yeah,
remember, Crash, nobody's dead as long as their contract is still active.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys speak truth. But regardless, I do hope she does come back. I would love to see that part that we all know and love in the comics being shown, in any type of show or any type of movie, right? I loved her performance. At first, seeing her in the first episode, like, when she was playing to be the detective, I thought her character was going to be really weird, really off. And then just going more and more and more into the series, I was like just thrown off completely because she was not what I expected. And just I said it once before off the podcast, I'm gonna say it again. When you get a character like Audrey Plaza, you see her automatically, and the first thing you think in your head is, "Oh, that's such an Audrey thing to do," you know, like that's just the type of person she is. So everything that she has done prior to episode one, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's something that I expected." And bringing that, scene two where she did cut into the set and everything, I did not personally expect that. But then just thinking about it back, I'm just like, you know what? That is something that she would probably do
Right?
anyways.
It makes
But
sense for her character, like to
yeah.
know, like I'm part of this hex, but I could leave where the fuck I want. Like, girl could just literally just draw a knife in the dagger. Like, I'm deaf. I could disappear out of this hex and whatever. Like, makes sense. Like, girl enter the hex through the grass. She literally is the original Green Witch. Like, at first, I don't know why. I didn't want to believe it that she was Lady Death. Like, once I heard, yeah, the Green Witch, like, I heard the Easter eggs. I was told by the audience, I was told by the show, the first episode, the second episode, when she came in, attack, she literally wore all black. She literally had a fucking black hoodie, everything all black. How much more obvious does it want it to be? But we still ignored it. We still ignored the obvious.
I really wanted Mrs. Hart, believe it or not. I really want to see like her being the Green Witch. At one point, I was like, she had to have been in the show for a reason, not just fucking she's a neighbor or whatever. I was hoping like maybe she's gonna be more of a character than we thought her to be. Nope, they're like, nah, we'll put her aside. We're gonna show you Audrey Plaza. And I was like, as the Green Witch. But lore wise, as you keep going, like, oh no, 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 you know what? Give me more of that now. And the one takeaway of her in general is the most iconic part was the final episode where you see her, looking at Billy, and you actually see her whole face and everything. The production team did a great job, like putting the whole mask on her, making her look like death. Like it gave me like the Day of the Dead, vibes.
Yes.
Spanish side. I was like, this I fucks with, and I'm not afraid to say this now, on the record and everything, because I truly didn't know, as a veteran watcher, I didn't know that Andre Plaza was Spanish. So to find out later, and to remember that, seeing everything, I was like, that was perfect. That was 100%. That is her to a T. There's no doubt in my mind. She made that character work, and we're gonna remember that character from this series for a very long time.
I agree 100%. The face you gave me the brain blast. It reminded me of the movie of 2017, Coco, where they did the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
They showed the characters, like the black holes in the eyes, the white skull, and everything, and that's what reminded me of Aubrey Plaza. And just the way, look, also the fight scene. Let's just talk about it. How do we feel about the fight scene? Like the climax. Like, there's always a CG fight and everything. There's always in an MCU or in a comic book, there's always a CG last fight. But I love how Agatha always said she always blocked her mind for telepathy because she always tries to block it. But the first time ever we hear Billy goes through her mind like, hey, is this how Nicholas died? And like just seeing that she actually responded back, but also seeing Lady Death choose to respond to him like, hey, you may go now. But also anybody might not be aware, Agatha, the reason her body decays so fast and it just became flowers is because she's been dead for 600 years. So her body literally just fast forward from being a kiss of death by the actual Lady Death into the ground, from going to mushrooms to flowers. Like the whole decay system happened within just 1-2 minutes.
I always like to say for the record, the first time I saw that, I didn't see her skeleton. I didn't see the skull, like, pretty much decaying and everything. The second time that I rewatched it, because I was watching it again with my girlfriend, I saw it and I'm like, oh shit, there's a whole ass bone skeleton skull. I was like, what the fuck?
Right,
How did I not see it? Yeah, I did. I was paying attention just to the flowers. Like it was just bright. It was just like that vibrant. Like I was just paying attention to that. I'm like thinking, what kind of flowers could have existed at that point in time that doesn't exist, now in the 21st century. That was my first thought watching it, and then watching it again, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, damn, there's a dead ass body right there. There's a whole ass skeleton. What the fuck?
Yeah, like the whole process of fertilization literally happened. Body decay, bones, grass, literally all in one moment. Like the circle of life, just rinse and repeat in 600 years in that one moment. I was like, that's insane. Paul, how did you feel about seeing Lady Death or Skulls? You know, seeing that moment with Agatha, she choosing to actually cancel but taking the power from Billy, which also was a smart choice. Like she chose to take half the power from Billy to not make him so powerful as well, so Lady Death doesn't have to go after him no more as well, saying that hey, Agatha took almost all your power right now. You need to take some time to recover. So right now you're not a major threat. How did you feel about all this at the climax?
Everything in me was just hoping that Agatha didn't take all that boy's life, bro. Because I was like, wait, this
Yeah.
thing going on a little long, bro. Agatha,
Exactly.
chill. Agatha,
Exactly.
chill.
He did ask, please don't take everything.
Yeah.
A girl was like, yo, her acting, she's like, I want everything though. Oh, you know what? Okay, cut it off. Bye, boy. I still love her attitude. She's like so flamboyant, like, I feel so good.
I was telling my girl in detail, pay attention to Billy's face as she's taking his powers, and you see she's literally draining literally the life out of him. I'm like, I don't like where this is going the first time, and then as she cuts the powers off, I'm like, damn, like this guy, he's literally like what, a teenager. He looks like an old decrepit ass man. Like Jesus Christ. But you brought up a question before. I just want to answer it real quick about the fight scene and everything. I did not care for it at all. I thought it was so stupid. I don't mind saying it. I know it's a really bad take, but me personally, I just it's death.
Sir, about to say, you're telling me that you're gonna go against Death, an
No.
omnipotent person. What the fuck can Billy or Agatha do? No matter, Billy literally had his training wheels off. He like, alright, cool. I'm
And
about
that's
to
what
do
I'm
this
trying to
magic
say.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm about to learn something right now. Agatha like, yo boy, I'm about to save your ass. You cannot do shit. I'm about to kiss the sexy ass deaf lady and die myself. This is the
That's what
best I
mean,
can do
like,
for us.
That's my point. Like it's death. You're trying to fight an omnipotent god, if you really want to say, like you can't outrun death, right? So how could you possibly fight this inevitable demise that's coming your way, as Thanos would probably put. I am inevitable. That's death. It's bound to happen sooner or later.
Dang,
So
are you just gonna sit there and take it? I mean, I would because it's real, but like, are you just gonna sit there and take it? Like, no. Here's the thing: if you really about your shit, you gonna try to fight for your shit, even if you know you about to lose that fight for real. That's the reason why we love we love underdogs when it comes to fighting scenes. But and so that's essentially what they are. Even though, yeah, they just could not beat it. They were too much of an underdog for this situation.
I mean, I was expecting more than less. Really, it wasn't bad again, but realistically, in my heart, I wanted more, and I just didn't get it. So I'm just gonna have to be content with what I was shown. Really.
Oh, I want to ask, since you already mentioned to her about your favorite character, since we already spoke about Agatha, Rio, we spoke about Billy, we spoke about Tommy, we spoke about Wanda, the Maximum Family and everything, but we didn't really speak about the witches. So I want to ask your favorite character, Jen. Any highlights, anything that you want to mention? The floor's all yours. Talk to us.
If I had a tongue on this model,
Sir, PG out here. We gotta keep PG for the show.
don't worry, I was just talking about French kiss. It's fine. But no, yeah, this was my favorite character. Just the sassiness of her and all her everything. She's so hot, but like she was genuinely acted amazingly. I love Jen the entire series. I'm glad she survived. Oh my god, I'm so glad she survived.
She's technically the only one that survived out of Sharon, Alice, and Lilith. Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt so bad when Alice died, especially once Lilith got pieced her outburst together, and she was essentially saying, "Don't save Agatha." Fucking Alice, when Alice jumped in front of her, to protect her from I think it was her mother.
But what's sad about Alice was sad when Rio came to pick her up. That was a sad moment. Alice was like, "It's not my time." Like, aren't you a protector? You protected somebody. Your job is done. Now let's go. I was like, shit. Like when you say it like that, like you're not wrong. It hurts though, because it sucks that Alice literally just broke her family curse, and for her to know that this is her moment and it's gone now, and she couldn't even enjoy it. Like shit.
Alice really got the shortest end of the stick in the show.
Yeah.
Because at least with Lilith, she got to live her whole life. Granted, most of her whole life she thought she was insane, but she got to live her whole life, and she went out on her own terms for real. And I think the way she went out was hard as fuck, because she technically soloed the fucking Salem 7, bro.
Yes,
she
soloed
them.
Oh.
She said reverse, and then literally everyone was like, "Oh!" and then all died. That was hard. I couldn't even deny.
No lie, that shot just gave me goosebumps of you mentioning that, because she wasn't like, look, I'm not saying that she was my least favorite character, but at first she was like my character that if I had to write off, it will either be Sharon or Lilith. Now, Lilith, you gonna be surviving. Now that I know from episodes 1 through 9 results, I'm like, you surviving. You are a key factor to our survival, because you could go from present to back to future. Like, this is wild. So when it comes to what she did with the Salem 7 was magical, because she was technically, I believe, Cinderella. No, right?
Yeah, she's Cinderella.
Yeah, she's Cinderella. So just to know that she was a traveler, we also had the back and forth of her character understanding. Like that's a headache, but I don't know how you guys felt about it. But I love the concept. I was
too tired to think of it deeply.
Okay, so me, I was, because I love the concept of time. For anybody that don't know, there's many books of how to understand the concept of time. Time is irrelevant to some stories, to some concept, but just seeing how the Disney Plus MCU, the Witches side kind of brought it, knowing that the flow of time in your mind, you could be present from 10 years ago, back from 20 years in the future. That concept is pretty fascinating, and how for herself, like you said, she thought she was insane. That's a sadistic aspect about it.
The random outbursts, just
that's scary. Just means like
I thought it was like Tourette's. I thought it was like magical Tourette's or some shit.
Imagine telling somebody like, "Yo, I'm gonna tell you all this information right now. I'm gonna probably forget about it after I tell you. So you need to remind me that I forget about it, so I don't forget about it." And I'm like, "Yo, imagine you're the friend that has to hear all this and be aware and know to remember key moments and key words, so you don't forget about it." At that point, I'll be like, "Yo, I'm gonna write notes. I'm gonna have a voice memo. Be like, this is voice memo number 12. I'm tired of this shit. Shit's exhausting."
I'm about to tell you. Hold up, turning on my body cam.
Jen was straight a real one for just.
Oh hell yeah!
Legit friend. Just to even remember that is one thing, but
like also understanding and not going crazy with it. Like, bitch, you crazy what? And actually be supportive to like, yeah, you told me you will be forgetting, but then you told me I should tell you, and you told me that about Billy, and you told me that we don't hate him no more.
Who told you that? You did.
You did. Yo, that shit hurts. But like, wait a minute, I did? When did I did? Like 20 minutes ago, but you told me that you're forgetting shit. So like, that's hard. Like, you have to be told about your own type of dementia. That shit's exhausting.
Oh God, like
it's gotta be like fuck exhausting. That's gotta be terrifying to go through in real time.
So it's a good way to see what the type of idea of how dementia is in that type of ideology when it's the concept of time with Lilith. So that's one thing that was interesting. I give props to. Wait, right before I move into the transition into like the vision, the production design, because we're coming close to our ending conversation of review. So before I move into the production and the design and the visuals aspect, any more about the witches? Jokes are Crash about Lilith, Sharon, even Sharon, Mrs. Harp. She was there for 2 episodes for the witches trial, even at the lake house.
And she died at the right time. Like it other than, I'm glad that her dying brought Rio back. Thank God. Her dying, was so good just for the fact of she didn't need to go through it. She didn't deserve that, dog. She just
Hey,
wanted to be her neighborly self.
she
And then here
did.
comes this bitch Agatha, like, hey, come to this party. Wait, what you mean party? What we doing? Let's have a sing-along. She was jamming during that sing-along,
She
being her
was.
adorable self. Next thing you know, she's being chased by a fucking dark ghost. Like,
No, but
she
what's
didn't
funny?
deserve
She's
that,
the
bro.
first one that went down there. She's like, oh, we go down here. I'm gonna just go down this ramp. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what has. We just sang this whole karaoke. We going down this witch's road.
I thought, wasn't Billy first? It's like, oh, is that the road? Yeah, okay, peace. And then everyone's like, oh, no, they heard the Salem 7. Like, oh, no, we're going down too.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
you're right. It
was
was
getting
Billy.
scared of the sounds, and of course, the main person who would be afraid of the sounds that's going on is the one chick who don't understand shit of what's going on. Like,
And she was with
when
it.
she-
Girl drank the whole wine too at the lake house. She
Yes.
said, bottoms
Well,
up,
he
y'all.
drank that
Dude,
wine and
she
said,
was
I've
a
had a really
champ.
rough day. Fucking felt.
I felt that, yo, her character was still like, right here, girl had a bottle. She's like, fuck it. If they want us to drink some wine, we're drinking. And girl drank 2 bottles of wine, I believe, too. She drank
Yeah.
2 of them. So, and nobody gave her the fucking cure. Everyone's like, yo, let's put the hair in the fountain. Let's make it. Let's put our blood. Let's do all this. Okay, let's take the cure. Each one of us. Wait a minute. We forgot about Sharon. We forgot about Mrs. Hart. You know what? Let's just bring her dead body down this furnace that we need to go through. And the most
Shout
funny
out
shit.
to Billy and other girl for digging
Alice?
her grave.
Yes, they brought her body still. And I believe Alice said it that one of my friends got burned in a furnace. And if anybody doesn't know that reference, I believe it was a reference of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, I do. That's one thing I did love. The constant alludes to other witches in media. It was great.
Wizard of Oz was the only thing I took from it, really. You know, the Witch's Road, you know, the road down to the wizard place, you know, the statues of the Wizard of Oz and everything in Billy's room. That's the main, really, like, Easter
Oh,
egg-ish.
that scene, Crash, I appreciate for bringing it up. That scene fucked me up when Billy went back home after 24 hours, after he went upstairs on the second floor, after he came out of the shower. The slow camera shot of him looking and realizing, like, him literally just standing like, wait a minute, shoes, bronze shoe, picture lake house, tower, reverse tower, him analyzing every single part of the trial, and him being like, fuck, it was me, it was Billy all along. Like, that was the most hilarious shit. Like, just him puzzling everything, understanding that he was the one that came up with everything unconsciously, and just seeing that one scene, like, wow, it's just like mother and son.
I mean, that scene still confused me. Like, I even now, like, if you were to ask me, like, what did you take from that? I would have to be like, I really don't know. All I know is he was somehow a reason for the Witch's Road. It's not until later it's explained that, you know, he was the main reason for the Witch's Road. But, like, I guess it was showing still too much, or I just didn't see the bigger picture at that point in time. I don't know if it was just me just being stupid, or maybe I'm a full of jokes.
it's
I was
just-
tired too.
Hey, it's just like any type of media. Every media is about interpretation and how you see it. When it comes to what we saw, when it comes to the Witch's Road, the concept was made real by Billy, and that's the most interesting aspect of how, you know, a great transition into this. The vision production, the production design and everything was, to me, honestly great. The custom designs, even my favorite was how Billy and Agatha was at the reverse tower. I believe Billy was magnificent, and
Yeah.
I believe Jen was the Green Witch.
No. Agatha was the Green Witch.
Agatha was a Green Witch, and I forgot who Jen was. Paul, Crash, can you remind me who Jen was?
Wasn't she wearing like a hoodie or something like that? Oh God.
Yes.
Kind of what she was.
I believe she was the witch that has like dots on their faces. I forget what they are. Like one of the poison witches, and then
Was it not just a potions witch?
yeah, That makes sense. If yeah, because Jen is a potion witch, so that is Jen is a love potion witch, so that makes sense if that's the case. And our girl Lilith was Cinderella, so that's one of my
Pink Witch, Pink Witch.
Pink Witch.
Okay.
So that's one of my favorite productions. It was them in the costume and everything. They was all flamboyant with their characters and everything. Um, the lake house was pretty cool. I would say the whole type of 70s outfits and everything was it. It was pretty fascinating, and I'm hoping for a better design for Billy's outfit or for his hero outfit, like the
Yeah.
whole red and blue. Hopefully we have something better because the red and blue was nice. The jeans was like it just looked like some regular jeans, like not like a whole type of actual outfit. So I'm hoping we get something better in the future. But the visuals and the production value was something that really stood out for me. It was very well done. But now I'm expecting for something like this when it comes to the same producers and the same production value when it came from Wanda and Vision. I totally understand it a lot better why it was so good for Agatha. Anybody wants to give any remarks or any high remarks for the show itself when it comes to the visual aspect for the production design?
It was great. Like, the trippy moments that were meant to be trippy, like primarily when they were in the road and how it was just like, go here. Let's not go here. Go here. And it just appears again. Yeah, no, I fucking love those moments. Them being forced down from the brooms. I love that shit. Like
Oh
the
my
the,
god, that
the
was
broom
such
scene
a
in general
stereotype.
was
Yeah.
That was
amazing.
such a stereotype. I loved it. I love how it was like, like we know how to ride brooms. We just choose not to because it's such a stereotypical thing. So we choose not to do it. And then it looks such a casual thing that they just did it.
It was, yeah, though, like, because I didn't care for a lot of the fights, because I ain't gonna lie, magic fights in live action media a lot of the times look kind of goofy. Um, yeah, it's just moments like those that mess with the rooms that they're in. The sets from like the fucking set from the 70s, the 70s era was amazing.
I love the karaoke. What they did with the music, with the Alice original mom, coming out with the ballad, like in a professional level, and then doing the curse of the fire, where they actually sang the song in the fire of background and everything. It felt like if anybody played Guitar Hero.
That's one thing I did hate the way the demon looked from that episode though.
Oh, the demon looks sexy. I love it. It looked fucking ugly as hell in the best way possible. To me, that looks beautiful. It's supposed to look ugly. It's a fucking curse. It's like, yes.
No, it's like you could tell it was a mask type beat. That's why I didn't like that demon.
I get that. The song reminded me for anybody that plays Guitar Hero 3, Through the Fire and Flames.
Yes.
That's what the
I
song
pulled it
reminded me of,
too.
like them literally playing with the fire in the background, the girls playing the piano, she's like just going hard on it, and just fire in the background and in front of them, and they're just going still on it, and I'm like, yeah, it's just okay with it, just fire in the background, but I get it, they got to just the whole demon and everything made sense, but also the damn fucking symbolism was beautiful. Like, am I mad that we got blue balls with Mephisto once again? Yeah, I'm mad about that. Like, can we finally get fucking Mephisto and the Darkhold stuff going forward? But I know we're gonna get it in other future projects of the MCU. I know the MCU's trying to clean up house, trying to fix the storylines, they're trying to make it more fluid. So I'm excited to see whenever we finally get Mephisto finally in the MCU actually present, not just being word or just being vaguely said or small type of Easter egg on the screen, but not actually said when the time comes.
I personally don't have much to say on the matter. Reason being, more than anything, is kind of like when you find out the Santa isn't real. I've taken a lot of film class. I've seen a lot of production happen. I personally seen, where in the middle of the show, where the scene where it's Agatha's Agatha's arc. I seen those parts where the lights start flickering or like they start like blasting and everything. Like I know those cues. I seen it happen all the time. Sometimes when the wind's pushing stuff and everything. So I personally know when those cues happen in a production set for it to go down. So it kind of was like a turn off for me. It was like yeah, I know that's not realistic. It's not scary. The trailer made me feel more scared than the actual show itself, which kind of what made me more like bummed out than anything. But overall, they did a good job putting everything. The Witches Road itself, you seeing that scene with Agatha and Billy, seeing that was nice to look at, to allure. But everything else is something generic that I personally seen all around. Props and everything. So besides that, not much to add. It was good for me. I liked it.
Plus, I appreciate for our boy Billy actually doing a tombstone for Alice, Sharon, and Lilith at the same gate of the Witch's Road. So that's pretty cool to see Billy actually do some magic, and like with the candles and everything. And he goes about to ban or about to send away Agatha, but her being honest and like, I'm not ready to go see Scratch my son. So Bailey kept her here. So I love to see that little small moments here and there. So that's really beautiful. But my question to you guys before we end our show, what do you feel about this show, Agatha, for the future? Any excitement for Agatha, Billy connecting to the future of Tommy? We also know there's a show being called White Vision being made. That's another story connected to Wanda Maximoff. And we're going to see maybe more story of White Vision from the comics, where White Vision has his own family, his own kids, as well as version of as androids. Are we going to see that? Or not androids, as synthezoids, I believe they're called correctly, the terms. How do you guys feel about this connection to the MCU? Any type of future speculations before we end our show?
Good answer. Good answer.
Kids. I just realized I cut out my bad. My mic.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this bitch and her damn Sims kids.
They're not Sims no more. He has an actual body, human soul, living.
Okay,
both of their
my
kids.
bad. You want to call them Barbies from the fucking Barbie movie? I don't care.
God.
They're not real.
Well, they're real now to her and to real people. They're movable. He has magic and he moves, and also he has a boyfriend. It seems like it's working.
Hey, listen, if your last name is Maximoff, fuck you.
Wow.
Damn. I'm about to say Tommy and Billy are getting hatred without
Yeah.
even being born yet, without even being alive yet, or even having moments.
Yeah, so you
Shots
hate
fired.
Wanda Maximoff, excuse me. You hate her and the kids. That's crazy. That like maybe even Vision too. The whole ass family, everybody.
Brother, man, I don't like kids, and fuck that damn overprocessed toaster.
Do you also hate Magneto Maximoff? Just
Ooh.
Indifferent.
Indifferent. Understood. Indifferent. Copy.
I think he's the most broken motherfucker to ever exist, but like
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation for our boy X-Men Magneto. But all right, so Jokester says fuck them kids. Some kids could go to hell, and fuck the White Visions, fuck the whole family. Any excitement for the future holds for the White Vision, and any expectation for the MCU, what this show could add, and any ranking that you would like to shout out, say out of the MCU television was made so far. Is this the top one with Loki, Agatha, WandaVision, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel? I believe I'm missing a couple more, but yeah.
I look. I'm gonna say it once. I'm gonna say it again. The ending was so trash. I wouldn't say trash. Excuse me. I would say it could have been better. And I don't care that she's a ghost. I don't care that she's grooming this kid to be something that could be either bad or something good. I really don't care. I just wanted to see maybe more loose ends tied up with characters that I really had seen in the past, and I really didn't get that. All I got was a story about witches that I didn't ask for. So overall, if we get more of this in the future, Marvel, I didn't ask for it. I want Mephisto, bro. Where the fuck is Mephisto? Run me that right now. fuck you for wasting my time. The show was mid at best, and I don't care what anybody says. It was not bad, but it was mid. You had something going, and then you lost it. I didn't ask for the fucking boyfriend scene either. I didn't want to talk about it, but since we're gonna bring it up, I didn't ask for that at all. But hey, a lot of people are happy about that. So to each their own. Whatever makes you guys happy. With these shows. But I didn't personally ask for it because I didn't ask for this. Show about witches. And if I don't see Agatha, it won't be anytime soon.
The one scene that made me laugh in the flashback was when Billy was screaming at Agatha when Agatha was putting him in the closet. He said, "I don't want to go back in the closet. I already came out the closet." I was like, God damn it.
I didn't understand.
That back in the closet scene. The thing is, I kind of could tell that that kid was gay. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But that back in the closet scene made me cackle, dog.
It did. It made me laugh too. I'm like, they're playing this on the nose so much, but sure, Disney, we get it. You want to play to the other audience out here and make it more diverse, but you're making it too on the nose with that line.
Yeah, you said it best.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Any person wearing that skinny of jeans with that combo of boots, you ain't screaming straight to me, bro. And I say this as a I am a pansexual man. I am a pansexual man. He was not streaming straight. He was not screaming straight in any way possible.
I think the black nails gave it away for me immediately. Honestly, I just know automatically. I'm like, I don't think it's because you're a witch, but to each their own.
Look, the story is there. It seems like the boyfriend got broken off or not know what's going on because it seems like our boy Billy's like, yo, I'm gonna leave you.
You brought that up too. He never fucking came back. The boyfriend, like, we'll never know what happened with him.
We don't know.
Here's the thing: Billy got bigger fish to fry.
That too.
He now got to search for his Simlish brother. So he got bigger fish to fry.
His brother that he cares for, that is his blood brother, just from a different mother.
Blood my ass. Them boys are data chips, nigga.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, my last thoughts about what is the connection to the MCU. Agatha, we got a comic book accurate character from Agatha all along. She's invincible. She is with the white hair. She has a purple outfit still, just like from the comics. And I'm curious to see when the time comes in the future when we see Agatha as a ghost interacting with Wanda, because we also have had those versions in the comics as well. So I'm really curious to see how's that gonna bring up to. And Billy, I get it. You cannot have a coven because you have killed your own coven. And Agatha saying like, I killed my coven too. Like, yeah, we get it. You have killed them for the past 500 years. We know you got experience for that, woman. And Agatha is willing to train Billy in this aspect. So I'm really curious to see how's that going to lead up to. And if I rank them, look, not by order, but definitely first two is Loki and WandaVision as the first two. Number 3 is Moon Knight. Number 4 is Agatha all along. I'll say these top 4, and then top 5 I'll say Ms. Marvel. Top 5 is those 5 as the MCU television. I'm not adding the Netflix, even though it's on Disney Plus now. But right now, those are the 5. If you're gonna add Daredevil, that's a whole different conversation. But when it comes to the new MCU television, Agatha all along sits at number 4 for me.
Like how you completely ignored the fact that She-Hulk was anywhere in there.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, I'll say She-Hulk's like number 7 or 8, top of my head. But She-Hulk was entertaining. It's just, not my thing. It's just, it was entertaining. It's just
bottom of the barrel, Marvel. You could have done. You fumbled the bag so
I
hard
agree.
with that show.
Not trash, like probably Crash will lead up to, but it's definitely not mid either. It was definitely like 7.5, probably 7.2, or probably 7 out of 10 for sure. Definitely not mid.
You were very generous with that
The
grading.
thing is, I've watched barely any of these shows. I've watched Moon Knight. I watched like 3 episodes of Miss Marvel.
Miss
I
Marvel
watched
was
Moon
good.
Knight.
Mona was amazing. Miss Marvel was very adorable. I will say that if you like Miss Marvel from the comics, Miss Marvel to the show actually has done very good adaptation for it, and it does a good representation for the culture as well. There's a couple of things that could have done better with story bits, but you know they also filmed these things during the pandemic, so I kind of give them excuse since as somebody who worked in the pandemic, so I know how it is to struggle. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. I judge them more now because like, all right, cool guys, we have been out of the pandemic. You guys should be doing better.
I didn't want to go into the hate of the character She-Hulk in general. Just
Don't worry, don't worry,
if,
don't worry. We can move on. It's okay, tranquilo. It's okay. This has come to the end, the closure of our Agatha all along. I want to ask the panels, chat, let us know any other comment section that we missed, any conversation, any Easter egg, any highlight, anything that we forgot to add, your favorite line, your favorite quote. I want to ask you guys, is there any last things you want to mention before we move into our wrapping out, closing thoughts right now?
you can go first. I want to go last, please.
Bashir Zamata, I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Hit me up, please.
You heard it.
Love you.
Hit me up. How about you, Crash? You got anybody to hit you up your line digits, or you rather give some?
I do, and I'll just say real quick. This show. If you don't have anything to watch, give Agatha a watch at least for the fall because you want to be in spook season. Can't believe Jokester hated 5 things today. We have here hates X-Men, Reed Richards, the Human Torch, Scarlet Witch, and Tommy and Billy. Sydney Sweeney, I heard through a bird, that she's gonna be Black Cat in the Spider-Man 4 movie. Hit me up my hotline, cause please, if you become Black Cat, even though this has nothing to do with Agatha, I would love to see a very good Felicia Hardy, please.
Oh God, brother.
If she becomes the Black Cat, Mary Jane who? Mary Jane who?
Yeah, Mary Jane who? I don't know. Never heard of her. Fuck her. Fuck Gwen Stacy too. You got what you deserve. You broke your back. Damn shame. Spider-Man's gonna break this girl's back now.
Hey, whoa, Nelly. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth about my Gwen Stacy now.
About to say Gwen Stacy could do a lot for us. Gwen Stacy is Mrs. Spider-Man as well in a different universe, so she be saving people and doing her own thing.
We're talking like Tobey Maguire's Gwen Stacy. Fuck no. We're talking about
Andrew Garfield's Gwen Stacy.
No,
yes, sir.
Emma Stone. Yes, no. Top two girlfriends for Spider-Man all the time. 100%. Never respect that. But if I had to choose between her and Sydney Sweeney, I'll go with Sydney Sweeney first. I look. If she was not in the picture, still Emma Stone top 1. But we got a contender. And I'm gonna have to go with the new one on this one. I apologize to everyone there on chat, but I have made my decision. My shit's trash.
Your opinion, even though I think your opinion is wrong.
No, I know it's trash, but you know what?
Very wrong.
Someone has to be the villain in this story. Someone has to be the villain in this story, and that might have been me.
Oh, a beautiful segue for that. Sometimes you gotta be the villain in your own story. For look, Agatha all along has come to an end. For the next 3 weeks, you guys will be hearing nonstop praise and fandom of love for Arcane season 2, and sometimes you gotta be your own villain, or in people's eye, the perspective of being the villain of your own self.
Oh God, I can't wait.
So,
I can't wait for Echo.
Look, I want to ask the 2 League of Legends and Arcane fans up here. All I'm gonna say is this: I'm excited. I don't know nothing about League of Legends. Never played the game. I didn't know that these are how our characters become legends or gods, whatever it may be. I've just come here for the ride, for the storytelling, and for the animation, and whatever else goes along with it. So, Crash, Jokester, take a good minute or so of full excitement, full thoughts, what you're excited for season 2, without giving any type of spoilers as best as you can.
I have one word. It can potentially be spoilers. We all know, if I'm gonna say it, you guys can stop me at any point in time. But Warwick. We're gonna see Warwick. Oh, we're gonna see him. I can't wait to see this man in action. I have been waiting for the longest. I don't main him, but I don't care. I just want to know if he is maybe a character we have not known, but you know, we have to wait and see for season 2.
I don't even play League. I played 5 games of League in total. Warwick is one of the coolest characters I've ever looked into lore. I love the lore. I love the lore of League. I just don't play the fucking game. Fuck y'all. Oh God, I'm so excited for Warwick. I get to see my girl Vi back. I'm mainly just excited to see her throw hands again once she gets out of the bind that she was in at the end of season 1. But
yo, that's what. Oh my God, I can't wait to find out how we're gonna do with that, because that ending left me on a cliffhanger on the most blue balls for the next 2-3 years, wherever we are now, of how like, wait, she, like, my face was like, bitch, she threw a rocket. Where's the rocket heading? Wait, where's the rocket? Who's attacking? And then you're gonna end the show. What?
And like, the thing is, there's still, like, the one thing, I'm glad that Arcane succeeded so well.
It did. Congrats.
Because it can lead to so much more, because there's so much more lore when it comes to, because there's over 160 characters.
You guys don't understand, as people who haven't played League of Legends, there's so much lore, and they're still adding new characters almost every other year.
Like, we're still in the Magitech parts of League of Legends. We haven't even gotten to all the mystical shit that, like, like the real mystical shit that we can do.
Yeah,
we barely dealt with any of the yordles. Like, nigga, if we saw someone like Fiddlesticks, there's so much more.
You have
once we get to, like,
you have
gods like Aurelian Zoe. Fucking, there's so much more characters that they can have more shows like Arcane for, and it'd be so fucking cool. And I just I hope season 2 is better or just as good as season 1, because I'm not gonna lie, season 1 was a 9.5 out of 10 for me, bro.
Sam. Sir, is the middle trash? Where is Arcane?
10 out of 10. I was gonna say, I disagree with you guys completely. I think it's the best thing.
Hell yeah!
As a League of Legends player, it's like the scene with Echo and Jinx. I need to know if you can tell.
That is one of my favorite scenes of all time. I swear to God.
I main Echo. I don't play him as jungle. I play him mid. I want people to know his time his time machine that he uses. His Z, I plan personally to tattoo on my arm. Stay tuned for that. Very, like, potentially in the future, I will have that. That's how much I love that character and everything that he stands for. Just him flipping just in that split second to hit chicks with his fucking sword was the fucking hardest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are you guys talking about the fight at the bridge with the dude with the white hair?
She pulls out the pistol, shoots 3 times, dodges that shit, flips in the air, and it's like, wow! Top 5 scenes.
I love it.
I would main Echo if I ever got a fucking code to 2xKO. Please, chat. Bless my boy. Please, Christmas right on the corner. Times is tough.
Look,
you know what?
Arcane, I haven't said it, but to me, it's also a 10 out of 10. A lot of shows I don't always give a 10 out of 10. Like, there's very few, like Avatar: Last Airbender, Castlevania. There's other series that are very little that I give 10 out of 10, but Arcane is one that's like solid 10. Perfect. You cannot disgrace, like, literally the story, the bits and pieces is like you trying to ask who's the villain. It depends on the perspective. Who do you see the villain itself in your own story, and in somebody else's story, you're the villain or they're the villain themselves. It just changes. And by the way, I can't wait to hear the music. Our boy, who was the one that did the original? One Republic? No, it wasn't One Republic.
Imagine Dragon.
Imagine Dragon did a beautiful song during season 1. I can't wait to see what is gonna be in store for season 2. Enemy.
Shout out to that being the only song that I like by Imagine Dragon.
Damn, you lying. Radioactive. Radioactive? No.
I don't like it. No.
That's crazy.
I love Radioactive. Even with the verse of Kendrick Lamar on that one, is still amazing in the concert. Kendrick Lamar has a beautiful verse on that one.
Kendrick Lamar's in Radioactive?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the recording. I'm gonna show them the song before we all sign off. So that's a beautiful segue. You guys heard the hype of Arcane. You guys heard the otaku news of what we spoke about. Ironheart, Daredevil, Wonder Woman, What is Season 3, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and then we had Agatha review structure. We had the time codes all on the bottom in the description and below. So, without further ado, it's time for the outro and plugs. And be aware for what's going to be happening, chat, is you are watching all this on the main channel of AniMa W3 Studio, because there's Off the Bench, animated podcast, and soon to be coming very soon, showing a role in our manga podcast. But then we have a spin-off channel, the Weeps of the Ring podcast. Check out that, and the Grappling with the Week, launching this Thursday as well. In addition to that, we have the AniMa W3 Studio Vault channel, where you can see all the old content and soon to be gaming content and others being added in the future. Other than that, we appreciate you for liking, comment down below, and subscribing, because thank you for joining us tonight, taking the time to listen in. The Anime Lately podcast is presented by AniMa W3 Studio, our production team, Vash, Watkins, Rome, and our special guest, Crash as well. Jokester, and special thanks to our producers. Don't forget to follow the socials of the brand, the team, and all the links are down below in the description. Lastly, share, like, most importantly, give feedback, and let us know what you guys thought about this episode. You guys are what makes the show help us succeed. On behalf of everyone at AniMa W3 Studio team, we thank you for joining us, the Anime Podcast. See you later. Take care. This podcast is now recorded by live studio audience, and as always, cheese on pancakes. Down the witch's road.
You are not making that a thing.
Audrey Plaza, hit us up. Shout out to you.
Ladies deaf.
Ashir.